Hello and thanks for tuning in to this episode of T360. I'm Cordell Cummings alongside Josh Farnsworth, and in this episode of T360, we'll start off with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So let's get right into it, Josh. What is the outlook for the Jags this season?
Well, I can tell you it's been a lot better than over the last 10 years. Since the beginning of the season has started, they're already at 33 sacks on the year.
That's a lot.
And that's almost 20 more sacks than they had in each season for the last 10 years. So they're in the top 3 in the NFL for defense. As far as the rushing, they're kind of lax on that end. But
yeah, you know what I'll say about the rushing defense is that I think the acquisition of Marcel Darius,
yes,
I think he would help the defense, the rushing defense, because that was one thing that was lacking. Yep. Even though they were getting after the quarterback, which is an interesting statistic because on the offensive side of the ball, usually you will equate sacks with a team that's from behind, but they were running the ball so well. They are number 1 in rushing yards, which is really, really good. You have a really good rookie in Leonard Fournette, and I think the team is really good. They haven't been this good, in my opinion, since they had like David Garrard. Yeah. And that teams were really good. You had Maurice Jones-Drew and a bunch of other players. Calais Campbell was balling out right now.
Oh, yeah.
He's leading the league in sacks. I think the defense is really, really good to go along with secondary. So yeah, I think they're playing really well.
I think the secondary has definitely helped the pass rush quite a little.
Yeah, it usually I was listening to an interview where Jalen Ramsey was actually talking about how it goes hand in hand, and obviously everyone should know that how pass rush and coverage goes hand in hand. You can get coverage sacks, and you can just beat your man off the edge like Calais Campbell, Dante Fowler, so on and so forth, because they're playing really, really good right now. But mentioning Jalen Ramsey, we'll stay with the Jaguars and discuss the beatdown A.J. Green put on Jalen Ramsey.
Yep.
Whose side are you on this one?
I'm on Jalen Ramsey's side.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, it is the defense's personality. They are tough. They're in your face. And, Jalen Ramsey called A.J. Green soft. He called him soft.
Come on, these are grown men playing in the NFL. Exactly. Is that supposed to hurt you?
Exactly. So if you watch the clip, you'll see A.J. Green walk over and put his hand on Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey then went
push. Yeah, regular. You see that every now and then.
Get off me. And it looked to me like A.J. Green did a little bit of a LeBron flop.
Oh, that's what we have going on there.
Yeah.
You know my opinion on it? I think Jalen Ramsey has always been known as a trash talker.
Yes.
Even at his Florida State days, he's been known as a trash talker. Yep. Even in his rookie year, Steve Smith, he got into it with Steve Smith, a Hall of Famer. Yep. And so that shows you what type of player he is. I am on the side of A.J. Green. And the only reason I say that is because you look at players who are notorious for just staying quiet and going out and balling out. He's one of those players. And you take a situation like a couple years ago when you had Andre Johnson and Cortland Finnegan. It takes a lot for those type of players, the Larry Fitzgeralds, Andre Johnsons, A.J. Greens, for someone to get under their skin. So I wonder what Jalen Ramsey must have said, because players usually say that they're okay with trash talk as long as it doesn't get personal. And I think, you never know, Jalen Ramsey could have said something personal. That's my take on it. Obviously, I think Jalen Ramsey played the victim when he got choked out, and he's like, okay, I'm not going to win this fight, so I'm not even going to fight back, but he's still suspended. So there you go.
Yeah, I can understand the point of view, but for the most part, I think, you don't do that.
So what did the Tom Coughlin have to say about that?
So Tom Coughlin, in a statement released, let me see if I can find it here.
Which is the operations guy for the Jaguars.
Yeah, yep, former coach of the team. And there it is. Okay. He says, I want to voice my support for Jalen Ramsey following the incident in our game on Sunday. Coughlin said in a statement, our players are instructed to not retaliate or get involved or do anything that would result in eviction because that would hurt the team. Team comes first, and Jalen was trying not to hurt his team. While he did push his opponent, something that happened with other players during the game, he did not retaliate. He threw no punches, and he did not fight back. Jalen was doing what Coach Doug Marrone had instructed him to do, which is to play tough, be physical, and make every play difficult for his opponent. There was a banter going back and forth during the game, but Jalen was playing football within the rules?
I think it's technically within the rules. I mean, he has the right ideology there in that quote, but I just think they both. I think the fact that AJ Green beat him so bad, it makes, what Jalen Ramsey did seem obsolete.
Yep.
But everyone knows Jalen Ramsey is a trouble starter. Sort of, he's a really good trouble starter, but he is a trouble starter.
It's very similar to the relationship between Richard Sherman and
that's a good one.
Crabtree.
Yeah. That's a very good one. Yeah. I guess in this episode we are talking about teams that are flying under the radar, and arguably no team is playing better than the LA Rams. Right now, it is time to start taking. Is it time to start taking the Rams seriously?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, they're beating good teams, and not only are they beating them, they're putting a whooping on them.
Yeah. Exhibit A, Tom Coughlin's former team, the New York Giants.
Yeah.
They obliterated them. They actually have the #1 offense in the league right now. Now, I remember we were talking on a previous T360, and I was detailing how the new coach over there, his offense is formulated for, to get players open. A lot of coaches don't scheme that well, and I think you can just see the transformation in Jared Goff. He's playing really well, and I think his progression this year, if they keep winning, you might have to put him in the MVP conversation. Yeah. He's playing really good, and he turned that franchise completely around.
Yes.
With a very hard place to get people to come to, because in LA you have the Lakers, you have the Dodgers, so many other things people in LA could be doing.
Exactly.
Unlike us in the snow, but it's very hard to get that team turned around from an 8-8 team that Jeff Fisher had them at for years.
Exactly.
Very long time. Now we shift to the beloved Buffalo Bills. Bills Mafia went in hiding after their loss to the New York Jets on Thursday night. Can they rebound and not let this affect the rest of their season?
It's going to be difficult. They're getting into the tough part of their season, the meat of their season. Mm-hmm. A lot of run-heavy teams, such as the Patriots, short passes, intermediate routes, stuff like that. Are they going to be able to stop them? Especially with moving players such as Marcel Darius, who have in the past taken up a lot of bodies and let other defensive tackles run for
literally
him.
He packs on bodies because this guy's humongous.
Yeah, that's why they call him Mr. Big Stuff.
I know, right? I think the acquisition of Kelvin Benjamin might help.
Yes.
His weight needs to be monitored. That's always been an issue with him, even at Florida State, another Florida State guy as well. He's around 6'4", 240, and that's huge for a quarterback like Tyrod Taylor. He's playing really well. What I'll say about the Bills is, even though Tyrod Taylor is, a lot of people consider him really, really good, I don't personally. His stats indicate that he is one of the top-tier quarterbacks, but if you watch a game, it's really deceiving. The last game against the Jets, which they got blown out from a team that will probably pick first in the draft besides the 49ers, he had 2 touchdowns, 0 picks, and around 320-something yards, I believe. And if you look at that, it's okay, this quarterback's playing really well right now. But if you watch the tape, it's very pedestrian. He's middle of the road, and that's not going to get you anywhere. And LaShawn McCoy has been missing for a large part of the season. I don't think the Bills are going to, hopefully for a lot of Bills Mafia out there, I know a lot of people might hate me because I'm a notorious Bills hater, I guess. But if they don't win these next couple games, I think it'll be in their psyche like previous years, and they might go down the drain.
And not to mention they have to play the Patriots
again.
Twice in, 3 games?
I think that's 2 losses, but that's just me. That is all we have for this episode of T360. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all of our social media pages. From Talon Sports, I'm Cordell Cummings here with Josh Farnsworth. Thanks for watching, and go Pats.
And Jags.